out there. It's me, Brianna, and you are listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of good stuff, including some Game of the Year nominations, some Best Score nominations, all that fun stuff. So I hope you'll stay. Welcome back from the intro. Such jazzy music. I freaking love it. Today I am joined by my co-host Kevin.
Hi,
The person you never expect.
I'm not Taylor. He lost his voice, so I'm filling in on short notice. The benefits of being part of a podcasting network coming to fruition here is what I was thinking, because otherwise you'd be doing a solo show, Brian. I hope you have
I
fun with
have
that,
explicitly advised that I will never do a solo show. I was like, the week that I'm supposed to be doing a solo show is the week that there will be no show.
See,
Because I don't care.
you guys got to start getting some guests and building like a
roster.
whole roster of people you can call on.
Yeah.
Like project, like when Ethan was out, I was like, I hit someone up less than 24 hours. We had a fill in. Like you get those connections, and then it's a little less stressful. But it's fine. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're able to jump in. All right, let's get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Remember, you can find the video version of this podcast over at youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia every Tuesday. While you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you would rather listen to audio, we are on all your favorite podcast services, and we would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we would love any feedback. If you want to support and get early access to all the Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia and choose the tier that works best for you. Our current patrons are Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, SAZ, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Amon, Anna Hudock, Nikolai at Night, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Always B, and Mimi J. Please go to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia to check it out. You can also check out our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. Now that all of that shenanigans is out of the way, what have you been playing, Kevin?
I've been playing. Well, I beat God of War Ragnarok last week since you beat it, and Ethan's holding us up. For anyone wondering,
he's getting close.
We are currently scheduled to do our Ragnarok review and spoiler cast next week, so it should be coming out the week after Thanksgiving. All right, and for the US listeners, okay, so it's coming. We didn't forget about it. We're very excited to talk about it, especially me. I'm very excited to get torn apart for my worthy opinions on this game. But I beat it. It was an ending. It happened. Like I rolled credits. It's. But now I'm playing Pokemon and having a great time. Pokemon Scarlet picked up.
Have
on
you
Friday.
run into the weird glitches? I'm seeing so many hilarious videos of these different glitches, and it's been cracking me up.
So what I will say is that the game is a ton of fun. And we'll probably do our full review on Save the Game Boy for December, most likely. But I am having an absolute
Patreon
blast.
exclusive show.
Yeah, that's a Patreon exclusive show. $1, you can get that. But I absolutely am enjoying my time with Scarlet, playing co-op with Kyle, who's got Violet. So like you can come into each other's worlds and see like, like he's invading my world, even though he can do all the story beats at the same time while he's there. He can also see the Scarlet exclusive Pokemon, so he can catch those. It takes the hassle out of like me having to trade and everything. Performance wise, yes, the game does have technical issues. Okay, are they as bad as the internet is making them out to be? I don't personally think so. I think the vitriol that's being thrown is a little exaggerated. It can't hold 30 FPS. Yes, that is true, especially in certain areas. Like I went to a forest area earlier, and that game was down to like 8 frames a second. I'm not even joking. It was like a slideshow presentation going on, but majority of the time it's running at like 24 frames or what, like it's noticeable, but it doesn't detract from my experience because the game's
Mm,
still very much playable. Like things are just happening a little slow motion sometimes, but I haven't
mm.
had any crashes. I haven't had any like game breaking bugs. I haven't had anything that isn't more than like humorous, because when I all the little glitches I get, like when I throw a Pokeball and see like weird cut in, like why is it showing me a bridge right now? Like to me, it's funny, like because
Yeah.
it's just like, why is it doing this? But it's still like doing what it should be doing. Like I'm catching the
Mm.
Pokemon. It does need a patch. It does need more polish. But again, I like the game. I'm having an absolute blast with it. I'm maybe like halfway done with like the story quests, because there's like 3 mainline quests you can do in the game, which, spoiler alert, they're all kind of the same. They're all kind of go battle something, either a gym leader, a big Pokemon,
Mhm.
or um I don't remember the third one because they're oh, or a base, and then you just have a battle, and then you get a badge at the end. Like you get a badge for everything. It's not just gyms anymore. So I'm like, I get what they're doing. They tried to make this game like, let's mix up the formula and give them like 3 branching storylines. But at the end of the day, it's all kind of the same activity, right? Like you didn't really do all that much different, but it's fun. It's a Pokemon game.
I am very glad that I didn't get it just because I think I would have been bummed out. So basically, okay, so I kind of wanted to say something too. If you're listening to this and you have been to Japan and you know where to go and what to do, please let me know because I have officially booked tickets to go to Japan. And I am looking for advice on pretty much anything. So yeah, so if you want to throw some information my way, great. But I kind of made the decision like, hey, I'm gonna get Callisto Protocol. That's gonna be a huge chunk of my budget. I probably shouldn't get Pokemon just for the sake of like saving for this trip, right? And I'm kind of glad that I made that decision now because I think I would have been really upset if I had bought Pokemon and then it had all these bugs. It's like it would have taken
Mhm.
away from my funds for Japan, and on top of that, wouldn't be running the best. That being said, I think that they'll work it out. Like, it's not that the Switch can't handle this game. It's just that like the game itself just needs there's some kinks that need to be worked out from what I understand. Um, so yeah, so just allowing Game Freak some time to fix the game, and I think it'll all be good.
I think honestly, the game probably should have been delayed, but they have to hit their annual cadence of Pokemon for the holidays. Is clearly
Mhm.
what's happening here. It does run better in handheld from the limited experience I had in it, and I think that's because handheld's only 720p as opposed to 1080. So I think it's a little less taxing, and that way like you can get better frame rate and everything. So I do think handheld is a little better, but I hate playing handheld on the Switch. I
I
honestly,
exclusively play
I
handheld.
just so many people tell me this. I hate it so much. It's the most ergonomically uncomfortable thing to hold in my
Oh,
hands.
see, I don't do that though. See, I have a little thing that holds the little Switch screen. It's like a
Mm.
little adjustable like thing. So I put that I'll like sit against my bed, like right there, and I'll put it in front of my face, and then I use my little Animal Crossing controller.
Okay, okay.
See,
So
I've
you're
I've
more playing tabletop mode as
kind
opposed to,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Which
So,
is
but yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do literally have a 65-inch TV like directly above me. So if I just like turned the other way, I could play it on my TV, but instead I just complain about how small my screen is. I'm like, "Ugh, this Switch screen is so small."
this game would look horrendous upscaled to like my 4K OLED, because like it looks bad on my cheap like TCL 4K TV
Oh
where
god.
it's like, oh, I can see like the anti-aliasing of characters and like colors aren't that. I'm like, it's an ugly game, but it's a fun game. All right.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I have I played the crap out of God of War. I'm at like 37 hours I think right now. I've now 100%ed 2 of the realms. I'm very close. I think I'm like 75% or above on everything else.
Mm.
Um, and so I have to go back and play through some of that stuff. I think I may actually have a bug on one of the trophies because I think I
Ooh.
collected all of the things I need, and it says that I need to collect like one of the things, and I know exactly where it is because I already picked it up, so I can't pick it up again. So I'm like, I don't know what to
Do
do.
you know what the trophy's called? Because there is a bugged trophy that I know about, and it's one that is it's a post-game trophy.
I don't know what
Okay.
it's called. It's just one of those collection ones where you just have to collect something from different realms.
Oh, the flowers? Is it the flowers?
I
Per
don't think it's the flower one. It's a
oh,
different one. I think it's the ingredient one.
I don't even know what that one is.
Anyways,
That's
it's
a
fine. It's
trophy?
fine.
What's an
It's
ingredient?
fine.
I played this game for 26 hours. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think it's actually the quest we're gonna talk about a little bit later, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, I have since like kind of fallen off of God of War. I will be going. I'm not going to be playing any other games besides God of War until Callisto, basically, or until I get the platinum. But I just kind of like I guess like burnt myself out a little bit, so I haven't really been doing anything this week. Like past like once I beat the game and then I played one more day. I kind of just have been like spaced out and haven't really been doing anything. So
You're
just kind of
you're you're
floating in
in
existence.
the intergame lull, all right, where
Yeah.
you beat the big AAA game, and then you're like, well, now what? Because like nothing's gonna fulfill you as much, and
Yeah.
you don't want to start like a little like indie or double A because it's not gonna be the same bar. So you're like, I'll just wait. I'm just gonna wait until Callisto Pro. I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
until the next big hitter. Meanwhile,
Exactly.
me, I'm like, I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna find something to play no matter what, just to get those numbers up. So
Yeah.
we're almost at 85 games this year, I think.
Oh god.
Let me take a look here. We're closing in. So I have Evil West ready to go. Okay, so Pokemon Scarlet is 84, and Evil West will be 85.
Do you think you're gonna play any more beyond those two this year?
100%. I'm going to
Okay.
play Midnight Suns. I'm going to try to play High on Life. I'm going to play Blacktail, which is a indie game coming from Focus in middle of December, and I'm going to play Crisis Core. So I'm going to get around 90, which is what I predicted.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I guess that's like amateur numbers, but
Amateur
I'm
numbers.
just kidding. Yeah. I can't focus on anything that long. But yeah, I have been listening to the Callisto Protocol podcast. I'm like I think 1 or 2 episodes behind right now. I think I just finished episode 2. So that's really good so far. I don't really know what they're doing with this podcast, but it's good. I'm very interested to see how it integrates into the game. So, anyways, let's move on to the news. A lot of poopy news this week. I'm not a lot of good news, a lot of poopy news. So we're just gonna jump in. First news story here is Game Awards 2022 nominees have been announced and the voting is now available. The Game Awards will be held on December 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Save the Game Media will be doing a predictions episode, and then we will also be live reacting to the Game Awards, so you can look forward to that. God of War does lead the pack with 10 nominations? Question mark. The official graphic says that it has 10 nominations, but when you count, there's only 9. I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve 10 nominations. I'm just confused which one the 10th is. So if you know, let me know. We will review in our predictions episode all of the nominations and stuff, but I did want to throw out Game of the Year nominees. So we have A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think this is a solid list. Like you can say about what you want about like who you want to win or whatever. But I think this is a solid list of games. So
One of these things is not like the other.
we all know
Um,
Kevin is hella biased.
Listen, I liked Stray a lot, but
I love Stray.
there are so many better indie games that came out this year than Stray.
Mm,
Cult of the Lamb, if they're gonna have an
mm,
indie game, Cult of the Lamb 100%
Stray
deserves it
was way
over Stray.
better. No.
It was
I love
not.
Cult of the Lamb. Stray was better.
Stray is barely a game. It's like an interactive experience. You just hit
You take
X
that
button.
back, sir. You can scratch couches.
I just I think Call of the Lamb reviewed better too. So
No.
listen, all I'm saying is reviewers, okay, the people nominating things, they clearly don't have the ability to think before June. Okay. They just Sifu, where's Sifu? Sifu got a lot of high praise. You're telling
I
me
would have liked to see Sifu on here above Stray, I think,
they just don't
but
have the
not
ability
above
to
Cult of
think,
the
you know?
Lamb.
Well, no, it should have been Call of the Lamb and
No.
then Sifu,
No.
then
No.
personally, if
You know
you're
what?
asking me,
Here's my suggestion. We take off Plague Tale Requiem.
okay, all right, all right. Now we have words. Okay. Okay, so my thing is like the Game Awards Game of the Year nominees is falling into a very specific pattern lately. You get
Yeah.
your Nintendo nomination with Xenoblade. You get your indie representation. I like to call it the token indie,
Yeah.
which it's not going to win, but we're going to nominate it anyway. And then you get your big PlayStation first party narrative over the shoulder experience, which this year you get two
Ew.
of them. You get two of
Yeah.
them,
Solid year.
even though I think one is clearly better than the other. Like I've played both of them, and I think Ragnarok is much better
I have
than
not played
Horizon
Forbidden
Forbidden West.
West, and I'm so bummed about that. But it just is like it came out right at Elden Ring, and I just did not have time. No way.
I think that was a lot of people's, and I think they offset that by starting to bundle in Horizon Forbidden West with their PS5. So then they're like,
Mhm.
"We're gonna give it to you, and you're gonna play it." I got the code for free, and I played it like 2 months ago, and I only did the story because that's all I care about in Horizon. And I
Yeah.
actually like the story in Forbidden West a lot
Yeah.
more than I did in Zero Dawn. I just
Oh,
don't like,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
which I've heard people say the opposite. They liked Zero Dawn story. They didn't like Forbidden West. I think Forbidden West goes more of a sci-fi route, and that's maybe why I liked it a little more. Where
Okay.
um so Forbidden West for me is like if you could take everything outside of the story and get rid of it, then I would like that game a lot more. But Horizon just isn't for me. Good thing I
Yeah.
have yet to pay to play any of those games. Elden Ring, I can't talk about. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no way it wasn't going to be there.
I mean, 95 Metacritic and I think OpenCritic. It dominated the zeitgeist conversation for literal months, and people still talk about it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you're
Let
asking
me
me,
solo her, I think just retired
R-
finally. I love
Rat
that guy.
Gang. I'm Rat Gang for life. All right,
Yeah.
you know me. Do
So
I?
are you just rat gang because you like the game or do you like rats?
No, I just like the game,
Okay.
and that I
Because
can't.
I heard because in the Callisto Protocol podcast, there were rats, which made me I was like, I
No,
wonder if Kevin will now like this.
no. It has nothing to do with rats. It's just people call a Plague Tale the rat game.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I was just trying to come up with like a group to signify like who likes a Plague Tale, and I came up with Rat Gang. Um, do I think it's gonna win? No, I do not.
It's not.
I think there's two obvious like there's really only two choices here, and it's up in the it's a coin toss if who's gonna
Uh,
win it.
yeah. I think we can talk about what we think is gonna win in the predictions episode, but it's clearly, in my opinion, between 2 games, and I'm very heartbroken for the other games that are kind of getting tossed aside, but, like, what a year of video games, you know? Like, what can you do?
Who would have predicted it would come down to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Stray, you know?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
the two,
exactly.
obviously, that we were talking about.
Okay, you wanna hit the next one, Kevin?
Sure. Continuing with the Game Awards speak, category for quote best score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media. Oh, this is for the Grammys, actually. You
Mhm.
threw me out there.
Yeah, I
Ah,
did, yeah.
it's for the Grammys. Has finally been announced. Has been added to the 2023 Grammys. I thought that I didn't know this. Okay, this is news to
Yeah.
me. Breaking
Woo!
news
Breaking
live
for Kevin.
for Kevin. Okay. While this won't be the first time games have been eligible for a Grammy, this is the first year that we will see an entire category dedicated to the medium. Previous nominations include Civilization theme Baba Yitu,
Yet to.
nailed it, winning Best Instrumental Arrangement in 2011, and Journey soundtrack earning a nomination in 2012. What a beautiful soundtrack. Well, Austin Winnery, take a bow.
Yeah, look who's up for nomination.
Oh, here are the nominees. Austin Winnery for Aliens Fire Team Elite. Stephanie
I'm not gonna know how to pronounce
Economou.
any of
Yeah, I don't
these,
know.
so good
For
luck.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok. Bear McCreary for Call of Duty. Did he do Call of Duty Vanguard?
I guess so. I don't know. I just wrote these down.
When I read his name, I was like, for God of War.
God
I
of
was
War.
already prepared to say God of War Ragnarok. But it's just Call of Duty Vanguard.
Yep.
Richard Jacques for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. And Christopher Tin for Old World. I don't know what that last one is.
I don't know I don't know what it is either. Let's look it up. Old World. I don't know.
While she
Oh, it's a
looks that up,
game.
well,
Oh,
obviously
it's
it's
a
a game.
historical. Well, no, because it says or under other interactive media. So I
Okay,
didn't know
yeah.
if that was like the one other. But yeah, this is a PC game. It's a historical turn-based strategy 4X video game by Mohawk Games for PC and Mac.
Okay, all right. It's
Um,
it's weird to me that all of these nominations are for games that came out last year, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, last year. They're old. These
initial
aren't like
release 2020. Yeah,
these
that's
are
how when
2021
Old
games because
World.
Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy came out last year.
I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know how the Grammys work, to be honest with you. I don't pay attention to it. I was just very excited. Um, I actually have not even heard of the game Aliens Fireteam Elite, but
What?
because Austin Wintory did the soundtrack, and is like nominated for best soundtrack, I'm kind of interested in playing this game now, but I have no idea what it is.
Do you want to know something, Bree?
I do.
I've played this game.
So you can answer my questions. What is this game?
It is a third-person shooter. It's a third-person shooter.
I assume it's just part of the Aliens franchise.
Yes, and I mean it is part of the Aliens, like the IP. Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you make a Marine, and then you can team up with your friends in a group of three, and then you go on missions on like spaceships, and it's very much like defend the point while a timer goes up. Yeah,
That does not sound like a
no,
Brianna game.
the game isn't very good. But the
Was the
soundtrack.
soundtrack popping off?
Yeah, the soundtrack was. I didn't know it was Austin, and I didn't like. For me, it's not something I would have thought like, oh, this is gonna be best soundtrack worthy. Like, I just thought it was like, oh, it sounds like like it sounds Aliens, which I know he is like a fan of Aliens and that whole IP, but it didn't resonate with me when I was playing. Like, there are games this year where I was like, okay, a Plague Tale Requiem score is outstanding. Like, I want that.
Ragnarok is
Yeah,
outstanding.
Ragnarok has a very good score. There are games that like soundtracks really hit, and this is not none of these games. Well, I can't
Even
speak
if we
for.
compare it to like last year games, these are not the games that are hitting. So I'm wondering who's curating this list because the people that like do the Grammys, no way they're playing video games, right?
I
And
mean,
it's not even
I don't
anything
know.
against because we obviously Austin Wintory, fantastic composer, Bear McCreary, fantastic composer. Like I don't know these other people, but I assume that all of these are like fantastic composers. But this specific subset of their work is so bizarre.
Yeah. That's how which again, it goes back to when I read Bear McCreary. I was like, Call of Duty
God of War
Vanguard,
Ragnarok.
Call of Duty nobody liked. Okay, that's interesting. I get Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, but again, that was a lot of licensed music. It was a lot of like
Yeah,
classic rock. Are they doing like not the streamer version where he's like, oh, here's the original music? Because that'd be
maybe.
such a weird choice.
I, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very confused to say the least. Um, but yeah. So the Grammys are gonna air on the 5th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I will not be watching.
Yeah, I'm busy.
But I will be in Japan. So
I won't. I'm just not gonna watch. So I'm busy. But
yeah. So
go Aliens Fire Team Elite because
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, I love Austin Wintory. Journey soundtrack is
I just want to
so
play.
good.
I just want to play, watch, listen episode where it's like Austin won a Grammy. And like,
Yeah.
great.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, okay, if you have not, I don't play Civ. Like, I do not play Civ games, period, the end. But I do listen to Baba Yetu. I listen to this song surprisingly a lot. It's kind of slowed down recently, but this is a song I used to listen to at least once a week, at least. And I don't listen to music very often. So I really enjoy this song. It's such a fantastic soundtrack, and it's a song that I get stuck in my head a lot. So it absolutely deserved a Grammy, and I'm really glad that it won.
Cool. Cool.
Fantastic. All right, let's head to this next one. I'm just going to read the statement. I know you guys already kind of covered this a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
I'm willing to talk about it more.
So we're not going to go crazy on it. If you want to hear a full discussion, go to X Talk. They talked about it a little bit more, but I do want to cover it since we covered the first portion of this. Bethesda has responded to Mick Gordon and the allegations with Doom. So here's the response. The recent post by Mick Gordon both mischaracterized and misrepresented the team at id Software, the development of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton, and Chad Mossholder with a one-sided and unjust account of an irreparable professional relationship. We are aware of all the details and history in this matter and unequivocally support Marty, Chad, and the team at id Software. We reject the distortion of the truth and selective presentation of the incomplete quote facts. We stand ready with full and complete documented evidence to disclose in an appropriate venue as needed. The statements posted online have incited harassment and threats of violence against Marty, Chad, and the id Software team. Any threats or harassment directed towards a member of our teams will be met with swift and appropriate action to protect their health and safety. We remain incredibly proud of its previous collaborations with Mick Gordon and ask that fans refrain from reaching conclusions based on his account and, more importantly, from attacking any of the individuals mentioned on either side, including Marty, Chad, or Mick. First thing I want to say about this is I hate people on the internet. You don't need to go attack random strangers on the internet. Like, this is clearly beef between them. If you want to like at Bethesda and be like, hey, at Bethesda, can you please resolve this issue? Sure. I think that's the whole point of like him posting in public. I guarantee that Mick, Marty, Chad, any of these people do not want anybody to be personally harassed. So if you're doing that, like, just uninstall Twitter, please. Uninstall Twitter. You clearly can't handle the internet. But that's like a whole separate thing. So I think like attacking people personally and harassing people is completely different from like the actual situation that's going on. And this is such a PR statement.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is for sure. And you want to know my big problem with it, okay?
Okay.
And I said this on Project X Talk. So if any crossover here, the fact that they have the audacity to say, please, or criticize him for his one-sided account. Bethesda, did you happen to miss the Reddit post where Marty Stratton gave his one-sided account of events? Did you read that
They
one?
blacked
Okay.
out.
You're just seemingly you know all the details, all the secrets, all the timelines, but you don't know that there's a Reddit post up here trashing Mick Gordon from Marty Stratton. And according to Mick, he's willing to settle. He just wants the post down so he can reclaim his name because you guys are coming like, do I know who is right or wrong here? No. I don't think anyone will unless it goes to court and things become public. Could be very much a Helena Taylor Platinum Games situation where everyone's like, go, like she's right, down with Platinum, and it's like, you know what, guys, I think we jumped the gun there.
Yeah.
Platinum Games might, but I think this one's a little more like maybe they both have some credibility and it isn't one side's completely wrong, one side's completely right. I think Mick Gordon has a lot of points and he brought receipts. All right. If you read his
Yeah, he
post,
did bring receipts. Where's your receipts, bro?
where's your Bethesda? Where's your receipts? I'd like to see them. All right, Marty, if I can have the receipts. I don't know. It's messy. It's not
So
done.
messy.
I do agree. Nobody, don't harass anyone. Don't do any of that. But their post is very much like Mick Gordon's lying, and I'm like, I don't know if I fully believe this statement.
Mhm. I don't believe yeah. The thing is like God, it's so messy. It's so, so messy. And I don't think we're gonna see the resolution for this for a while. But the thing is like regardless, I can kind of understand like where Mick is coming from because they're all saying like Mick is like you can't work with Mick at all. And so it's like the other people still have a job, but Mick has to get contracts with other people, right? And so it's like the other people are still working under id Software, under Bethesda. They still have a job and they still have like steady income, right? Whereas when they're throwing all this shit at Mick, like this is directly his reputation directly affects the work that he gets because of the way that
Mhm.
the music industry works. So it's like it's kind of lame to put it politely.
It is. It is. And
So,
we went through and looked, and he was doing like 2 games a year for uh a, quite a steady amount of time until 2020, where Doom Eternal came out, and then since then Atomic Heart next year will be the only thing that he's done in 3 years. So it's clearly impacted his work.
yeah. And I mean, like, if he really, because the thing is like, let's say Bethesda is right. I really don't think that anything that Mick has done is that terrible to warrant him losing his. Like, it's not like these are like sexual allegations or physical like altercation allegations or anything like that. It's this isn't something like super intense happening. Whereas like they have nothing to lose for accusing him, and he has everything to lose. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like it's very much like big company against this like one person. And even if Mick is in the wrong, I don't think that the punishment is proportional to like what has happened.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would back that because he deserves a place in the industry.
Yeah.
Despite what I've heard some people say, all right, you don't have to wave your corporate flag so hard, people. All
For
right.
sure. Okay, do you want to hit this next one? It's a fantastic one.
Is it? Is it? A patent filed in July of 2021 by Sony for NFT and blockchain technology was recently uncovered. Sony has published a patent suggesting the company is looking into blockchain and NFT technology for tracking in game assets in video games. The patent, as reported by Eurogamer, is called Tracking Unique In Game Digital Assets Using Tokens on a Distributed Ledger, and the included diagram lays out mechanics for tracking changes in ownership, visual appearance, or metadata of digital assets. The patent says the digital assets could range from moments of gameplay to in game items or characters. Sony's patent describes technology that could track the history of an in game item as it's passed from player to player, which is one of the core ideas behind NFTs. In the patent, Sony said, quote, there is no way to differentiate a specific instance of an in game item that a famous player of the video game used to win a famous tournament from any other instance of the in game item. The patent describes the patent description also says people find it meaningful to own or use unique items related to respected celebrities or activities. This comes via Logan Plant at IGN. Sony, you're chatting absolute garbage here.
uh
What are you talking about? Yeah,
Kevin,
I
come
do.
on. You sure you don't care about this?
Who is sitting here and is like, man, I wish I could play with the gun that Ninja won that tournament with in Fortnite, and then somehow Ninja's gonna sell that gun, and you're gonna end up. That is the most absurd concept I've.
But it's the same gun. Like there's nothing
Yeah,
different about it.
it's yeah, same. It's just gonna say was owned by Ninja. He won the, or like, I don't know why I'm using Ninja because immediately came to mind for Fortnite, but this is absurd. This is not like what I just who cares if it functions the same, looks the same. Like this is dumb. All NFT stuff is dumb
Yep. I have genuinely had to have several people explain NFTs to me because and I finally came to the conclusion the reason I wasn't understanding it is because it is so stupid
because they don't make sense.
that it was like just not making sense to me. And it's just stupid. It's like nobody wants this. What do you mean like people find this meaningful? Like nobody finds this meaningful. Like the things that we find meaningful, like for example, like one of the things I really like in Overwatch is there is a Mercy skin that was like a breast cancer awareness. And like my aunt passed away from breast cancer and it donated to breast cancer. And so like that skin meant a lot to me. And so I was really concerned about it being Overwatch 2. It is, no worries. But like that specifically meant something to me, but it isn't even a unique skin that like you can like I wasn't taking it from somebody. It's a skin that I got for like $20 on a game. Like, you know what I mean? That stuff is meaningful. It's not like meaningful because I got it from somebody else.
They're like, my favorite part is in-game moments. Are you gonna sell me like a screen capture next? Like, man, I'm so
They're
glad
like
I
no
oh,
screenshots.
I'm so glad I own this 30-second video of MK Leo's win at Glitch 8. Like, wh I know it's a
Yep.
Nintendo reference, but, like, I'm just trying to, like, come up with something stupid that is
It is
readily
stupid.
available to every single
Uh,
human being. You can go
you
to
know it'd be
YouTube
so
and
good.
find every game ever.
You know
Like,
how on the dual or on the dual sense there's like the screenshot button you can hit? What if you hit that and you're like, "Do you want to pay for this screenshot?" It's
no,
an
no,
NFT
that
now.
wouldn't make any sense because their NFTs are limited, so there'd be a finite
Oh, but
number.
it's unique
They'd probably put like a
because you
little
took
bar.
it.
They'd probably put a little barcode in the bottom. Okay, be like, this is Brianna's cap or screen cap
Yeah.
of Kratos getting the Blades of Chaos in God of War 2018.
Yeah.
Who
Uh,
cares, Sony?
they're just like I mean, this was a while ago, so maybe they flip-flopped on NFTs, or at least I hope.
Well,
But
I don't
it
know
doesn't
about
seem
that
like they have.
because I know they say they are NFTs, but have you heard of a little program called
Sorry.
PlayStation Stars? Okay, I'm
I
level
just signed up for that, and it wasn't even like 100% voluntarily. It's because I downloaded the app on the phone, and it was like, "Do you wanna," and I just, like, hit, like,
mhm,
accept.
mhm.
It
Uh,
wasn't even like I went out of my way to do it.
I'm level 1.5.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
I got 2,000 points, all from buying God of War.
I
And
did it after I bought God of War, so I have no points.
yeah, no, here's my nice little display case. Okay, I got
Oh
5
my
things in
I'm
there.
so impressed right now.
So impressed. You're telling me that what can I do with these, Sony? Nothing. They sit there. I can't do anything with them.
Where's my
You have to click your level next to your name on the app. It's the most it's the most
Oh, I'm
obscure
level
thing.
2.
Ooh, well, PS5 is my first PlayStation. Like, I just made a PlayStation account, so, like, I don't have anything.
I don't know how I'm level 2. I haven't anyways, it doesn't matter. I
Anyway,
literally just made
doesn't
it this
matter. I'm
week.
just saying,
I hate this thing.
if this is what their NFT program amounted to, great. I'd rather this than NFTs, but, man, I don't know what's going on.
So silly. Alright, let's just go to the next one because this was ridiculous. Okay, Fortnite's senior system designer Anders Howard has moved to Naughty Dog as a principal monetization designer, according to his LinkedIn profile. The move comes after 7.5 years at Epic, followed by a brief 10-month stint at Ubisoft Stockholm. Howard was responsible to help, quote, form the core of Battle Pass progression strategy, delivering overwhelming value for that product to as many players as possible, end quote, his LinkedIn reads. Um, Howard's move comes as Naughty Dog continues to develop its new multiplayer based project in the Last of Us universe. Previous job listings have suggested that the game will be a free to play experience, with Howard's hiring suggesting that the development team is working on strategies to monetize the title. Howard's hiring could suggest that the team is leaning towards a battle pass system and seasons, which has become commonplace amongst games in the last several years, mostly in part to Fortnite. This comes from Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming.
I can't wait to floss on people in factions.
I am surprisingly excited about this. The
Oh,
more I hear about this multiplayer game, the more I'm interested. I don't know if I'm gonna play it or not, but I'm very interested because if when you go and read about the game, they're talking about this unique experience. And can you imagine if you had some sort of like multiplayer experience that had like the same, like I don't want to say same depth that Last of Us has, but like the magic that Naughty Dog is able to create, if they're able to transfer that to a multiplayer game, I think that'd be pretty exciting.
So factions could be cool. I think like the premise, and I mean they're going to have to make some better gunplay than what The Last of Us has,
Just
but
give me a bow.
that is literally the one thing they should not do. I don't want that.
Get rid of guns in the game. Just give me a
But
bow.
listen, I might be weird, okay? Because as multiplayer games continue to progress, I care less and less for them. And the battle pass is the specific reason. This man to me is
Interesting.
enemy number one, all right, in multiplayer game. He's
Would you
telling me
rather play or like pay for the game, like rather than it be free to
yes.
play?
Yes, I
Okay.
would. This man is what's wrong with he battle passes live service. I'm putting it all on you, Mr. Anders Howard. You are responsible for the downfall of modern multiplayer games. And I know this is a hot take. I know lots of people love battle passes and that feeling of progression. I hate it. I hate everything about battle passes. I don't like the feeling of like, oh well, if I don't finish the battle pass, then
You're losing
I'm
value.
losing out on it. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh well, it's free to play. Great. I'd rather buy the game and get everything, and then I can choose. Or you know what? I'd rather just buy microtransactions. I'd buy the cosmetics I'd want. I much prefer these methods than being like forced to play
Mm.
and grind for things I want because
Yeah.
it drives me nuts. This incessive need of like we need to keep players engaged. We need to constantly have them coming back. Like I don't want that. I want to play a game and move on to the next one. And if it's a multiplayer, I'll hop back in every once in a while when I feel like it. I don't like feeling like I missed out on stuff.
Yeah. See, I think that the battle pass system more specifically works like for example, there was like a time that I was playing League of Legends like every single night. And at that time League of Legends didn't have a battle pass. They've now included a battle pass. But I was literally playing League of Legends for like 2 to 3 hours every single night like without fail. And I think that like battle pass works for people that are doing stuff like that where it's like League had like something different that was like a different kind of battle pass. And so I was able to easily complete that just in playing, right? So I think that that's when like the battle pass works. But when it's
Mhm.
something that you don't play as frequently, like for example, like I don't play Valorant very often, it doesn't make sense to get the battle pass because then it's like pressuring me to play. So that's why I kind of avoid those. So I think that battle passes can work, but I also think that like I agree, like they can be very pressuring, especially if it's not something that you play very frequently. So,
Yeah. I'm just man, like I've paid what Smash Ultimate is $60 and then the DLC combined is like another 60. So I've put 120 in there. If they were like, "Yo, we're going to drop some microtransaction skins," I will buy them, okay? I don't care about earning like I just don't. I just don't care about like yes, it'd be great if I could earn them in game doing something. That's always my preference, but I'm very much okay with just buying the skins I want. It's I don't know. I can't deal with battle passes these days. I do think some systems are getting better. What are you laughing at?
I just was curious how much I've spent in League of Legends.
Oh no. Oh no. Is it a number you can say on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I be able
No,
to?
I
But
just maybe you don't want it out there. Maybe you don't want to be like, "I've
I
spent
mean, I don't care. Just I mean,
$16,000
I
on League
knew
of
it was
Legends."
bad. But yeah, no, it's pretty bad. It's
Oh,
$1,245.97.
that's not even that b bro.
That's just League of Legends, by the
Go
way.
talk to
That's
Kyle
nothing
about
else.
how much he spent on
Oh
Genshin
yeah, no,
Impact and come back to
yeah.
me, okay?
We did
That's
actually
not
talk
even
about
that
that
bad.
this weekend.
He's like, "I'm financially bro." I'm like, "Bro, you're funding MiHoYo," which is great. Fund the developers if they
Yeah, vote
continue to
with
give
your
you stuff.
wallet.
Yeah, that's g
Yeah.
exactly. Vote
I
with your
don't
wallet.
regret spending that money, to be very clear. I've spent so much disgusting amount of time in League that they deserve that money. It's just like it shocked me to see it.
I will
So,
say,
anyways,
there are certain battle passes that I think do it right, like Halo Infinite. Yes,
haven't
praise for
touched that.
Halo coming. The battle passes don't expire. You can go back at any point and do the battle pass.
Ah,
That's a
that's
great. That's
good.
a great way
That's
to
a
do it.
fantastic model.
If every game implements that going forward, okay, I can live with it. It's still not my preferred way, but
I
it
think
is
I
a
would
better way.
buy battle passes more often if that was the case. Like I would probably own all of the Valorant battle passes if that was the case. Because then it's like you could just go back whenever. Because I know at some
Mhm.
point, like the Valorant bug is gonna get me again, and I'm gonna play a bunch of Valorant. It's just it's not right now, you know.
I've never
So
touched Valorant.
I did only because I was asked to by my friends. They wanted to play a shooter, and Valorant was the only one that I could be convinced. Actually, we did play Apex for a while, but I have uninstalled Apex, and it will never be installed ever again.
I
So
liked Apex.
it has nothing to do with that. It's
Mm.
the fight that started the breakup between me and my ex
Was on
was
Apex?
during Apex. So I was like, you know what? Every time I even think about Apex, I hate everything.
Oh, what?
So yeah,
Yeah, you
so
gotta make this right, dog. Like,
yeah.
give her some credits or
I want to be
something.
clear. I really do love Apex. I love what they're doing with like the diversity of the cast of characters. I really do enjoy that game, and I think it's a fantastic game. It's just for me personally, it's like too much because the
Okay.
only people I've ever played with is like my ex and his friend, and that's what like. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah,
Mhm.
so Apex has been uninstalled and will never be installed again. But Valorant is fantastic. I really enjoy it. It's really fun. So yeah, the only reason I haven't been playing it is because I don't have anybody to play it with. Same with League of Legends. So if you want to play with me, come join our Discord. We've got a squad up.
So back on topic for the Naughty Dog thing. Do you think that this is a clear sign that the game is going to be free to play with battle pass and microtransactions, and
I
or
don't
do
think so.
you still think it's going to be a full price title?
I don't know. I'm not I'm saying that like his hiring specifically, I don't think says like for sure like this is going to be free to play. I think that there's a lot of things that suggest that this is going to be a free to play game. And I think it's safe to say that it's going to be a free to play game, but with like stuff like The Last of Us, like part 1 being released recently, like it wouldn't shock me if Naughty Dog was like, "Hey, like this is a $30 game and then you also have battle passes." Like,
$30, I think I could live with. I will say this is going to be PC day and date as well as PlayStation. There's
yeah,
no chance that
it
Factions
better.
isn't same day release on P. They need a player base.
Yep.
If
It
and
better.
being unbiased, all right. Put it on Xbox. All right.
You're completely unbiased.
I'm not gonna play it. I think Xbox should do the same with their third or live service games too.
They can't
Put it
play nicely.
put it on
You
PlayStation.
know they can't. We've been watching them not play nicely for the
I
past like
understand, but
3
like
months.
for games like this, I'm not saying put The Last of Us on Xbox because that like I'm very much in the camp that like exclusives should exist. They're the reason like consoles have an identity. They give the brand a sense of like feeling like you know what PlayStation is about. Okay.
What
But
would
for
you do if
lives
like they bought like let's say like Sony bought Microsoft or Microsoft bought Sony and they just became one company like
that's a
can you imagine?
monopoly.
Well,
Would
no, cuz
never
we
happen.
got Nintendo.
No, it's that yeah, it would definitely be a monopoly. Like it would no way, no
No way.
chance. But no, I'm very like these spin-off live service titles, everyone should put them everywhere. Put it
Mhm.
Nintendo too. All right. They'll be like, what's the Last of Us, mommy? And then it's like, oh my god, they're ripping my throat out.
Yep.
Yep. That was you got it. You got it. Little child being scarred by The Last of Us.
Oh, is that what that was supposed to be?
That
I'm just
was
kidding.
that's
I'm
what it
just
was
kidding.
supposed to be. Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and hit this next one? Very
Sure.
great news.
Developer Deep Silver announced via Twitter that they will be delaying Dead Island 2 again, pushing the game's release back to April 28th, 2023. Quote, the delay is just 12 short weeks and development is on the final straight now. The irony of delaying Dead Island 2 is not lost on us, and we are as disappointed as you undoubtedly are. We're going to take the time we need to make sure we can launch a game that we're proud to launch. For those of you who've been waiting for years, thank you for hanging in there with us. A new trailer and gameplay video will be released on December 6th during Dead Island 2 Showcase, which is set to be the first proper look at the game fans have had since it was re-revealed after years of troubled development in August 2022. Thank you, Ryan Dinsdale at IGN. This is a joke.
Did you have Dead Island 2 being delayed again on your bingo card?
I think Ethan actually said it was going. I Someone told me they thought it was going to be delayed again. I will say, moving it out of February and like the start of the year where it's already packed with big
Oh,
releases
packed. Mhm.
is a good move. Is it a joke from a visual and like consumer that this game that was announced like 12 years ago is still not out? Yes, it's hilarious. Do I think Dead Island 2 is going to hit? No, I do not. I think this game will come out. I don't think many people will care, and then I think we will move on.
Okay. I don't think I'll be playing this game. I don't think I'll touch it at all.
It's I remember getting trolled by Goat Simulator 3 because I was like, "Oh, this is Dead Island," like because when they revealed Goat Simulator 3, they did the trailer, and then it wasn't, and I was like, "But Dead Island 2 is gonna get re-revealed." Like I know it, it's been in the rumor mill, and then when it finally did, I was just like, "Well, that wasn't great. Nothing here really looked very." I just don't know how they justify these years and years and years of development, switching developers, switching publishers. Like they've done so much with this game.
Mhm.
Another delay, it's like who does it really impact anyone? I don't know a single person that was like, I'm really looking forward to Dead Island 2.
Do you think this is just gonna come out and be like full belly flop off the diving board?
Yes, yes. This game's gonna get like a 68 on Metacritic.
Why not
No one's gonna
69?
because they don't like memes.
Okay.
They just I just can't see this game hitting. Uh, it's
Yeah.
it's too late. Zombies, we've moved past it. Okay, we're
We're
done.
so over zombies. That was so last year.
No, it was so 2015. All
Yeah,
right,
that's fair.
we need to get over it. Have
What do you
fun,
think the
Deep
next
Silver.
monster is gonna be? Because we
Like
had the vampires hit, we had the zombies hit.
Redfall's coming out next year. Vampires are still here. All right.
Vampires are coming back again? Alright.
I guess. I mean,
Alright.
according to Redfall and Arcane,
Okay.
um, I'd like to see like well, we had werewolf. Well, no, Resident Evil Village had werewolves and stuff, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't like a huge like wave of werewolves, right? We're not
Mm,
talking about like one-off things. Because you know that like when Twilight got released, like there was a huge wave, right?
okay, you like infiltrates every media.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then we had the wave of zombies. Like where are we heading next? I mean, I think we could be due for a werewolf wave. I'm not opposed to it, but
Get
I don't think we'll
Taylor
hit that.
Lautner to come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
I
I
guess we'll
honestly
see.
try not to think about the early 2010s and Twilight and my very first girlfriend. She was like, "Do you want to come to the movies with me, and my sister, and like friends?" And it was like one of our first dates. And I was like, "Great, what movie are we seeing?" They're like, "It's a surprise." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I show up and it's Twilight, and I had the most miserable hour or whatever of my life. I was like, "This movie is terrible."
It's so terrible. It's like almost like good terrible. You know what I
No,
mean? That's how
not good
terrible it
terrible.
is.
It's terrible, terrible. Although I do like Robert Pattinson. Great
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Great actor. Just not for him. All right.
Alrighty.
Bree,
Last
what is this last one?
So this last one has several like warnings and caveats. So for this for listeners and I guess viewers, like for on our doc, I have the last topic is Brianna's special super secret topic. So I'm gonna caveat this with a little bit. So this is a new story about God of War Ragnarok. It is technically a spoiler for the game. However, it is a spoiler for the side quest that has nothing to do with the story of the game. And it's a completely optional side quest. So you won't be hurt emotionally or physically if you hear this spoiler. However, this is your official spoiler warning. And the last warning I have for this is that there is a solid chance that I'm going to cry. I'm just warning you guys.
What
Like
are we talking
I
about?
just want to get ahead of it. So we're going to be talking about a side quest that is a tribute to one of the developers that passed away.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm going to just like read this story. It's from Adam Bankhurst on IGN. So I'm just going to read this story for everybody and do my best to not cry. I already cried once about this story, so I'm hoping the one cry will counteract the like I won't have a second one. But we'll see. So God of War Ragnarok has a side quest that is a beautiful tribute to a developer who passed away. The memory of Jake Snipes will now live on forever. The game programmer Jake Snipes, gameplay programmer Jake Snipes at Santa Monica Studio passed away in 2020. The side quest is called, quote, Across the Realms. And its significance was shared on Twitter by Sam Handrick, a senior gameplay programmer at Santa Monica Studio, who is also Snipes' partner. There's some things in God of War Ragnarok which is the most special to me. I got to pitch it, and the team made it into everything I could have hoped. I had hoped to wait for some time to talk about it, but I wanted to share it now, just in case. It's the Ballad of Jari and Sommer. So when you go around the game, there's these little hearts. That's like it's their rocks and their hearts, and it's got like a J and S on it. So yeah, for those traveling through God of War, you may have seen it. I think there's 4 hearts throughout the realm, if I remember correctly. Um, so skipping ahead a little bit, the two would talk about how much they'd love to leave some symbol of us in Ragnarok. Some indication within this game that had been the reason we'd first met, our first game made together. He once suggested a simple heart with our initials in Norse runes carved into this world that we made. And that's from Sam again. Snipes sadly passed away in 2020. Once Hendrick was able to return to work, he knew he wanted to make God of War Ragnarok, quote, everything Snipes deserved. He also wanted to ensure that his memory would forever live on in the game. They asked the director, Eric Williams, if it would be possible to include a memorial of Jake in the game, and he, quote, made it so much more. I told Eric and the team about Jake's suggestions of our initial carved into a heart. And he and the team returned with that and something even more special, a story of 2 men who find each other in an often cruel world and who find a place to belong simply with each other. I wanted this story to be one many queer people know, journeying through a world that doesn't always understand you to find a place that truly feels like home. And sometimes that place is simply a person, and something as simple as a recipe that can be linked back to home. During the quest, you will happen upon a rainbow campfire that never stops burning. This is part of the memory that Jake will live on forevermore. Um, the fire never stops burning through the coldest days, through the nights you don't want to live through. It will stand in this world. Um, it will stand in this world we at Santa Monica Studio created for all time, carrying the story of a man with whom I found something unnameable I still carry now. Um, yeah, so the quest for those curious will have you travel across the realms to find 4 ingredients that will create a meal of comfort that permanently increases all of your stats by 5. It's, quote, a delicious creation that warms the body and soul. So, yeah, so it's just like I remember because I actually did play this quest, like, kind of organically before I knew, and they kept talking about it, like, the characters kept mentioning it, and then I kind of realized, I was like, "Oh, this isn't Jari and Sommer, these are both dudes, like, this is, like, a queer story, and this is a queer romance story that's just, like, a side quest in this game," and I remember I literally sat and stared at um the rainbow flames that burn, and it's like one of the most beautiful things in the game in my opinion, and I had no idea the significance behind it. So when I started reading this, and I just can't imagine his heartbreak returning to the game that he was working on with his partner, um and just like wanting to create something special for the 2 of them and having this made by the art team and everything. It's just a really powerful queer story and means a lot. So I'm doing my best to not tear up, but
You held it together. You held a little bit, little cracks here and there, but
yeah.
you got through it. I didn't do this side quest. I didn't know this is the first I'm hearing of this side quest. I kind of wish I had done it to experience it because I do think of all my critiques of God of War Ragnarok, I do think the side quests were very well done. You can't say that the side quests didn't lack heart and love, especially for some of the in-game storytelling. So it doesn't surprise me that they've taken that and uh, brought in a real world situation and applied the same level of care and love to that to illustrate it for the players and for the developers. So really awesome story, really cool to hear. I think everyone at the team, uh, great job, bringing something like that. Like I don't want to say I'm not like not touchy, but like it is someone passed away, and obviously that's an emotional thing. It comes with a lot of baggage. Um, so the way they've handled it is very special, and I love seeing things like this in video games where there's always like, oh, someone passed away during development, but they're gonna have a secret that like I think World of Warcraft was like the first one of the first games I remembered like doing it and like it blowing up to such a big scale, and now like we see it more and more in games, and it's always
Yeah.
awesome to see.
Yeah, it's not only like just like a tribute, but it's like also like this powerful like message of like there will always be a warm place for you because it's in
Hmm.
Midgard is where the fire is
Oh,
in
really?
the winter, and it's a fire that like there's nobody tending the fire and it just keeps going. And so it's this rainbow flames that forever burn even in the coldest of winters. And it's like basically just like a you have a safe space here. So not only for it to be a tribute to somebody that passed away, but to be something so like such a powerful message is like is beyond special in my opinion. So,
I'll
yeah.
I just googled something to see how trash people were in humanity, and I'll tell you after we're done recording because I don't want to ruin the positivity here. Okay,
Okay.
great from Sony Santa Monica, great, and if you've come across those side quests, do it because it sounds like it's very
It's
powerful.
definitely worth it, and it's only you only have to go to 4 locations to get the ingredients, um, and when you go to the locations, they like Mimir talks about, like, the 2 characters and how they found each other and stuff like that. So,
It's awesome. It's
11 out
great.
of 10. Alright, that wraps it up for our news stories. We are now technically in Limitless. We have 3 options here, and I will let you choose, Kevin.
Ooh,
Kind of only 2
ah,
options because I don't think you'll wanna do the first one. Or you can
yeah,
throw
yeah.
something else
I don't know
out.
anything about the first
Limitless
one.
is limitless, so if you wanna throw something else crazy out, I'll also accept.
Did I? I didn't know about this third one.
Mhm.
We can talk about that. We can talk about it because it
Okay.
relates to Xbox. All right, well,
Alright, fair, fair.
crossover.
Yeah, alright, so Horizon Forbidden West writer has joined the Fable reboot crew. Thoughts?
Uh, well, I'd never heard of it before right now, so I'm trying to quickly Google it.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
technically
Forbidden.
like, it was a news story that we didn't cover because I was like, "It's kind of a small news story," but I thought it was interesting enough that we should cover it somewhere, so I threw it in Limitless. So it's been a
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks at this point.
just found it. Senior writer Andrew Walsh joins Playground Games to work on Fable reboot. Albion has beckoned once again, he said on Twitter, alluding to his experience with Fable Legends. So, his experience with Fable Legends doesn't fill me with a lot of excitement because that game got canceled and it looked dreadful.
Yeah, but it
That
was like the gameplay that was dreadful. We got nothing of the story.
That's true. Well, as far as I know, there wasn't really that much of a story in
Yeah.
Fable, but like, I'm glad that one got canceled because it was very much like this. That's not Fable. You're taking the IP name and ruining it. So, but like I was saying earlier in the show, I liked Forbidden West story. Like, I think there's a lot of good in that. I like it more than Zero Dawn story. If he can bring if I don't know how much he was involved or what specific parts he wrote, like did he do was he responsible for like a big portion of the main quest or the side quests?
So he was a senior writer,
Yeah,
which means that he would be over more of like the bigger stuff. Like senior writers are going to be managing the other writers as well as
okay.
writing the bigger story beats.
Okay, then
So
sign
yeah.
me up. All right. I liked Forbidden West story a lot. So we can we can get that on Fable, and then Fable can come out and can get the recognition it finally deserves because
Another Fable so bad.
oh, you a Fable
So
fan?
bad.
I
I'm a
didn't know this.
huge Fable fan. I'm a huge Fable
Oh.
fan. My one downside with Fable is I can't get myself to do the evil storylines.
Oh,
I
really?
can't like whenever there's like a good versus evil, like where you make choices and you
Yeah, me too.
become good versus I always do good. I can't
Same.
do the evil, but I wanted to do the evil in Fable so bad and I didn't.
So So I always do like I'll do all the good first, and then once there's no more like quests, you could do the good path because like there tends not to be missable quests. Like you can always just like I'll just go do the dark side because I remember Fable 1, I had done everything in the game and I was really good. I had like the halo, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna kill everyone, and I murdered every single NPC on the map, and it was a barren wasteland. I couldn't do anything. I was like, my world is gone. Like there's nothing here. Um, I don't know.
Beautiful.
I'm a huge Fable fan. I think it'll be awesome if it can have a really good story because despite popular opinion, Fable 1 is clearly the best. I love Fable
I
1.
have not played that one. That's the one I haven't touched. I
Oh,
played
you
2
haven't
and 3. Have
I
not
don't
touched
like
the first
I
one.
don't like 2. And that's a hot take because a lot of
I
people
did
consider
like
2 to be the
2.
best. I
I
don't
don't
like
know if I
2.
had an opinion between 2 and 3. I did like both of them though.
I like 3. 3 did better co-op better, and it was a little more like you kind of had the story told to you. More Fable 1 had a lot more open choice, like what you were going to do, what you were going to
Mm.
be. Fable 3, you're like you're the king, like come back and be king, like that was your whole thing, and that's kind of it. It got more and more narrow. Like in my view, Fable 1 starts. It's a big open, like it's a sandbox. Like you're gonna make your destiny. You're gonna be like whatever hero you want to be, whatever that entails. And then they just narrowed it down more and more until finally like Fable 3 was very much you're the
Mhm.
prince, like something bad happens, go reclaim your kingdom. It was very much like, okay, well that's not really a Fable story. That's kind of just like an RPG.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
cool.
I really enjoy it. I'm very excited about it. Um, but yeah, I I think that like one of the things that's so special to me about Fable is that Fable is actually the game that got me back into gaming. I had like this huge gap of time. I played games a lot when I was little. Like I had like a ton. I had like the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Black and White, like a bunch of those Game Boys. Like I played so much Nintendo, especially, and I also spent a lot of time watching my dad play video games on his computer. So I watched him play like Halo, Doom, stuff like that. Um, and then there was a gap in time between probably like third or fourth grade until like middle school. Um, and I just did not touch video games. And I had like, it wasn't that I was like not interested, it just like wasn't what I was into. Besides Nintendo, I did play a bunch of Nintendo games. Um, so yeah, so then I finally got an Xbox 360 because I wanted to impress the boy that I liked, and then we played Fable together, and that was my first time staying up all night was playing Fable with him. So,
Yeah, what a world. Playing Fable. I've never heard that one, but
yeah.
that's a
We also
joke.
got married.
Playing Fable. Mhm. Oh, you got married in
Yeah,
the
we got
game.
married in the game, yeah.
In the game. Did you kill him?
No.
Did they all right, listen, what happens in Albion stays in Albion, okay? All
That's
right,
true,
that's
but
all I'm saying.
I just explained how I couldn't be evil, so do you think I could kill somebody?
I remember listen, all I know is in Fable 2, I'd be like have a wife in every town and then they could find out about each other and then they'd get mad at you and then you'd have to kill them. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean they can't talk to the king that way, you know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. How dare you talk to me that way?
saying?
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and wrap up here, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, you can find us at YouTube .com/Save the Game Media. You can find us at Twitter at Save Game Media. You can also check out our Discord. Come hang out with us. We actually had like 3 people join this week, I think.
It's because Twitter was on the verge of collapse, and I was like, come be in our Discord. So if you follow us on Twitter,
It's still on the verge of collapse.
yes.
I don't know what
So
you mean by it was.
exactly. So if you follow us on Twitter, but you're not in the Discord, when Elon blows up the platform, you're gonna want to stay in touch with us. So join the Discord. There's a
Mhm.
tweet. I think it's the pinned tweet on Save Game Media. Go join the Discord. Come hang out with us. Um, yeah, but I really hope
Before the
Twitter
world
doesn't go
falls
away.
apart, come join us in our
Yeah,
safe space.
yeah. It's great. It's true. It's true.
All right, where can people find you?
You can find me at the Muffin Mon on Twitter. It's a 1 and 7 I and O and 7 A as long as that platform exists. If you're listening in the future and Twitter is a relic of the past, then come to our Discord. Like I said, I will not be on Mastodon, whatever that garbage is that people are
I have
trying to
no
push
idea even
these
what you're
days.
trying to talk about.
It's I'll tell you offline, but I can't. I'm not going it. All right, TikTok. You won't find me on. I mean, we have a TikTok, but you won't find me on TikTok. I have an
You can find me
Instagram,
on TikTok
but
if
you
you
won't
want.
find me on Instagram. All right, I have all these things, but you're not gonna find me there. So Twitter.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, you can find me at Fabulous Brianna. Pretty much anywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter for now. YouTube, Twitch. Although I haven't been streaming, I'm so sorry. But yeah, you can find me wherever you'd like to come hang out. Until next time, we shall say goodbye.